back to the Ultimate Racing League and to our Saturday multi-class championship, and we have reached the final race. This is round 10. It is a double pointer, and we are in Austria at the in Spielberg, in Austria at the Red Bull Ring. Again, feels like we're here an awful lot just recently. Especially for some of the guys on track, but never mind, people do love this track. I don't, but a lot of people do. As I've said, it is the final round of this fantastic championship, the multi-class. GR3s, GR4s on track at the same time, running two separate championships, and as I said in race one that we just did earlier, it is a we, because John is still here with me, the creator of this multi-class. Are you there, John?
Yo!
Good morning, and welcome back to race two. Now, we do have the points leading into this race as promised, and I've just been writing them all down, and I've gone and lost them. Here they are. So that's quite typical. Like I say, paperwork everywhere. I need to be more organised. So we're going to go through the points then, the league tables as they stand going into this race. So in the GR3 class, we have got Grasshopper out in front on 293 points. Unforgiven behind him in second on 275 points. Remember, this is a double pointer, this race. Derg is in third on 237 points. Phaser in fourth with 276. Smoky Tom on 146 and Hellraiser on 107. Smoky Tom not taking part in this race, unfortunately, so it double points can, I think Hellraiser could get in front of Smoky Tom if he has a decent race. I'm not sure. So that was the GR3s. Now for the GR4s, leading the way is yourself, John. Big Mac on 284. Pete is sitting in second on 239. Stealth is in third on 207, and Molepiece is in fourth on 202. So it looks to me, and although it is double pointers, it looks to me like you've already got this wrapped up.
Yeah.
Pete is in second. Now he is about 32 points in front of Stealth, so Pete could really do with a win and Stealth to not finish. And then Molepiece and Stealth are only 5 points separating them, so there are battles to be had in this race. So let's crack on with it, shall we? We're going to have a bit of a grid walk for this one, and it is reversed order. Remember, the GR3s are always going to start at the front, because we don't want the GR3s come ploughing into the back of the Group 4 cars as we hit turn 1. So the Group 3s are obviously going to be in front. So as you can see in the Porsche, in the Twiglets Porsche, we've got Hellraiser taking pole position. Phaser is in second in the yellow AMG. Then we've got Unforgiven in third. Grasshopper in fourth in the Corvette. Then the winner of the last race, all the way down in I forgot now, fifth position, is Derg. Then for the GR4s, we've got Stealth. Then just behind him is the Big Mac. Then we've got Molepiece, and down here at the back we've got Pete in the Ferrari. So that's the lineup for this final race here at Red Bull, and it's a splendid looking track, I must admit. But as I say, I'm not a big fan of it myself, but there you go. So we will get this race underway. Let's get the right camera. We will ask Nightbreed or Hellraiser to take us down towards turn 1. So Red Bull Ring, 2.6 miles, 10 turns, and I like to call it the big penalty zone, because that is pretty much what it is. Morning, Phaser, still with us, so great to have you with us, Phaser, as Nightbreed takes us through turn 1, up through turn 2, which is more of a little kink in the road, and then up to turn 3, which is Remus, and it is this very tricky tight right-hander. As we see Unforgiven having a bit of a cheeky look at Phaser. Grasshopper makes a move on Unforgiven. Unforgiven goes very wide through turn 3 and has dropped down to 5th. He's let for Derg and Phaser through. Grasshopper has moved up into 2nd, so he's had a fantastic first couple of turns. So start from the top. Nightbreed, oh, and he's picked up a penalty already. We're only a few corners into this race and we've got the first penalty handed out, and that is Nightbreed as he takes us around turn 6. You go through turn 7, which is Worth Curve, and then as you go through 8, that's where the penalty zone is, and we'll just watch as Nightbreed has to serve that penalty, and let's just see how many go by. Phaser's got himself up into 2nd, but also picked up a penalty. Derg now through to 2nd. Wow, they are chopping and changing. I can't keep up. Oh, and we're all over the place now. I'm going to go back and have a look at this. In fact, I'm going to go back to have a look from Unforgiven's point of view, because there were penalties being served. And then we've got 3 wide. We've got Derg's in there, Phaser's in there, Grasshopper's in there. There was a bit of a bumping and kissing from Phaser and Grasshopper. Derg thinks about going into the pits and then decides against it. He's come back out and had another bit of a bash with Unforgiven. Nightbreed has shot through. Well, I can't keep up with all this. After all of that, Grasshopper has got himself out in front. Unforgiven is in 2nd. Nightbreed is 3rd, carrying a penalty alongside Phaser, also with a penalty, but Phaser now goes alongside Nightbreed, and Derg is trying to get in there as well as these two go still side by side into turn 3. Nightbreed just off the gas to let Phaser through. Very sensible it was too. Derg really just has to just sit there behind these guys, because once they serve the penalty, that's going to allow him to go through. Just going back to the GR4s, and I forgot what they're in then. Stealth in 6. Then we've got the Big Mac yourself carrying a penalty. Like I said, it is one big penalty zone, this track, isn't it?
Yep, it certainly is.
So the Big Mac goes through. Then we've got Molepiece and Pete fighting it out for 8th. As Molepiece gets himself on the kitty lid, but he does recover. That has allowed Pete to go through, though. That's cost him a few seconds. That has Molepiece. It's a very tricky corner, I find, that one, turn 4.
Yeah, it is.
I can never get that right. I think every time I do that corner, I do it differently. So, yeah, I just can't get my head around it. And we see Molepiece. He seems to be struggling a little bit, Molepiece.
Yeah.
In that NSX, it's usually quite a good, steady, stable car, but Molepiece seems to be struggling with it a little bit. He's on the medium tyres. Pete also on the mediums. Big Mac on the softs. And Stealth on the softs as well. So the 2 leaders, as you would expect, on soft tyres. As they go through Nicky Lauda curve for the 3rd time. Stealth just leading the way. So back up to the top. We've got Grasshopper out in front with Unforgiven now sitting in 2nd. Unforgiven's picked up another penalty. Into turn 4 they go, which is Slosh Gold. Derg in 3rd, settling down a little bit now. Phaser in 4th, sticking with him. So the 2 AMGs having a bit of a fight there for 3rd. Nightbreed still hanging in there in 5th. Now, you'd have thought the Porsche would have been quite good around Red Bull Ring.
Yeah.
There are some long sweeping turns. The Porsche, again, it was another one. It was a bit like the McLaren. It was always a very good all-rounder, wasn't it? But I've not driven it since the update, but I've been told that it did get nerfed a little bit, and
yeah,
is a bit of a handful. We'll just see what's happened at the top. Grasshopper, as he likes to do, just running away with it a little bit. Trying to nick as much as he can out of these curbs. Unforgiven still sitting in 2nd. Derg in third, Phaser in fourth, Nightbreed fifth. Then we've got Stealth sitting in sixth. Starting to open up a little bit of a gap. Back to yourself, who's coming under pressure from Pete. Shall we go on board with Pete as we chase the Big Mac down the start finish straight and across the line to start lap 4 as we head towards Nicky Lauda curve. Oh, I think Pete just about slowed the car down enough to avoid a bumper kiss with yourself, John.
Yes.
And then we go up through this, well, I call it a straight. It's just got this slight kink, which is turn 2, and then up to Remus. This very short right hander. A bit of a camber in the road as well, and if you clip that curve on the right hand side, it'll flip the car around. But both yourself and Pete doing a good job there. We can just see we've got Molepiece in the distance, so Pete not under any pressure. He can concentrate on trying to get that 7th position away from yourself. Through turn 4 they go, avoiding the gravel out on the left, and then down the hill through turn 5 and 6. This left-hander again having to feather the throttle, otherwise you're going to get pushed too far to the right. Through Worth curve, which is turn 7. There's the penalty zone, and then into turn 8 and then 9, and this is where the penalties start getting handed out if you drift too far to the left, which is very easily done. And then through turn 10 again, trying to stay on the track. So well done to Pete. Looks like you're opening up a little bit of a gap there as well.
Yeah.
John?
Didn't last long though.
And then Molepiece down in 9th. Phaser thinks he's started to get dementia because he can't remember anything about this race.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I tend to forget quite a lot as well, Phaser, so don't worry about it, mate. You've just blanked these bad ones out. So Grasshopper really is opening up a bit of a lead now. Oh, excuse me. A bit of a lead now back to Derg. And it looks like it's getting a little bit misty out there.
Yeah, it was. Well, I didn't say anything to the guys, but I had planned it so there was going to be rain in this race, but the rain didn't decide. I kept an eye on the weather marker. The rain kept coming towards, but it never actually hit the track.
That was sneaky.
Yep.
That was sneaky, trying to drop a bit of rain in there, so that would have caught everybody out. As we're following Derg through, as he's sitting in second, pretty much as he did in the race earlier on at Dragon Trail. Derg with the current fastest lap, a 1:29.3. Unforgiven sitting in third. His last lap was a 1:30.7, so slightly off of Derg's pace, although he is trying to catch up to the back of him. Phaser in fourth. He's got himself another penalty. As I say, this is one big penalty zone, so it's not going to be unusual to see cars going around with the red penalty zone above there. Oh, Phaser just get it all out of shape there into turn 4. Very easily done. That's allowed Nightbreed to get a little bit closer, so we might see a little bit of a fight here for 4th position as Nightbreed wrestles that Porsche around turn 5 and 6. Then through 7 he goes. You can just see that Phaser has got that penalty and he's going to serve it. I'm not sure Nightbreed's going to take that position away from him. Phaser served the penalty and has now got his foot back down and trying to get up to speed. Has Nightbreed got the momentum? He hasn't. Phaser manages to hold on to 4th as they go through turns 9 and then into 10. Back onto the start finish straight and up towards Nicky Lauda curve. Nightbreed trying desperately to get onto the back of Phaser and get in a slipstream. If he can get a good exit through turn 1, he may be able to make the move before we get to turn 3 as they go up the hill. I just don't think he's close enough. I think Phaser, well, he doesn't really have to defend this corner because, as I say, Nightbreed is just not close enough. I thought we were going to get a bit of a race on our hands. I love the way you see the brake disc glowing red hot.
Yeah.
as you try and get these cars to slow down. But you can see Nightbreed has definitely got a lot closer to Phaser. As we go on board with Phaser through a couple of turns, we can see we've got Nightbreed and that Porsche bearing down on us. Oh, as Phaser goes off again at turn 4, he really is struggling with that turn. And I do know the feeling, and I'm not going to put you through much pain, Phaser. I just want to see it, because you seem to be doing exactly the same as me. Yeah, you slam the brakes on and the car just doesn't turn. And I've been told it's because I keep the brakes on. If you start to release the brakes, apparently the car will turn.
Yeah. I always found that find that corner very different, very tricky. You have to do it at the right speed. Otherwise, it takes you up too wide, and you hit the kitty litter every time. So it's very difficult.
Very difficult corner, but as I say, you slam the brakes on, you're just going to keep going in a straight line. And that's exactly what happened to Phaser. Somebody who isn't struggling at the minute is Grasshopper and Dirk, and it looks like Dirk has made some progress in catching up with Grasshopper. So whether Grasshopper's doing a bit of fuel saving or he's had a bit of an issue, I don't know, but Dirk has definitely caught up to the back of Grasshopper. Let's just have a look. His last 3 laps have been in the 130s. And Dirk's have been in the 129, so Dirk is definitely not sparing the horses, is he? He's definitely got his foot down, and maybe he's trying to nick another win off a Grasshopper. If you saw the end of the race we did earlier at Dragon Trail, Grasshopper led for the whole race, and Dirk just nicked it at the last turn. Maybe that's his plan this time as well. We shall see. We have, where are we? We're 11.5 minutes into this 30-minute race. So still plenty of time to go.
Yep.
Unforgiven sitting in third. It does look very foggy out there now.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Good job. Unforgiven is in the endurance model because it's got the fog lights. Nightbreed sitting in 4th with the familiar half a second penalty sitting there above the car. And likewise for Phaser in 5th. So down to the GR4s. Let's have a look and see how these guys are getting on. So Stealth looks like he's getting himself a little bit of a fastest lap going there as well. Stealth in 6th with the Big Mac not that far behind him, and then we've got Pete as well. So the 2 Ferraris soon to be having a bit of a fight. The Big Mac with a half second penalty. I say that really is a familiar sight, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this lap it all goes wrong for me. I think it's this lap that it all does go wrong for me on this lap, I think.
So you're carrying the half second penalty, Pete coming up behind, so obviously when you serve that, the GR4's obviously not got the same acceleration as the GR3, so
okay, maybe it wasn't this. Yeah, maybe it wasn't this lap. You
don't think it was? So you think you managed to hold on to your 7th, or does Pete nick it as you serve the penalty? As you pull over there, and maybe Pete's got the momentum to carry him through as we go into turn 9, and he has. So Pete just gets his nose in front. Oh, and you got very wide there as well, so that could well be another penalty as Pete wrestles to keep the car on track and avoid the penalties. Yeah, you did. Yeah. It is very easy to drift out there, isn't it, through turn 9?
Yeah, it is.
So now down to 8th, you go with Molepiece. Molepiece is the first one to pull the trigger and dive into the pits to get rid of those medium tyres. You can see that pit crew poised like coiled springs, ready to pounce. It always amazes me how calm those guys really are. And even now they don't look that enthusiastic, do they?
Yeah.
But Molepiece is out. He's not bothered with any fuel. He doesn't need any. And Molepiece is out now on the soft tyres. So let's see if he can catch up to the back of everybody else. Grasshopper still out in front with Dirk just sitting behind him again. Now, if you did see race 1, we'll see that about halfway through the race, Grasshopper faked going into the pits, and Dirk did go in. Now we don't know whether that was intentional from Dirk's point or he actually fell for it. I'm sure Dirk will tell us one day, but it worked for Grasshopper, and so it'll be interesting to see if he does the same again. Grasshopper still in the 130s, and Derg, well, his last lap was a 130 as well, but he has been previously doing 129s, which is what's enabled him to get right up to the back of Grasshopper. So maybe Derg is thinking about his tyres now. These two have really opened up a gap back to Unforgiven, who's currently sitting in third and really is in no man's land. There's nobody around him. Nightbreed is in fourth. Now there is another car with him, but it's Molepiece, so I'm guessing Nightbreed has just managed to get by Molepiece, as Unforgiven has decided to come into the pits as well. We have got just under 15 minutes of this race to go, and Unforgiven is the first one of the top three into the pits. Grasshopper and Derg have stayed out as they go up through Niki Lauda curve for the 11th time. So Grasshopper, then Derg. Grasshopper trying to open up that little bit of a gap again as we try and get by the Big Mac before they get to turn 3. And Grasshopper goes through. Well, it's not turn 3, is it? Turn 4. What am I on about? Derg's still there. Nightbreed now moved up into third, but has yet to pit, the same as the two guys in front of him. Phaser still struggling to get that Mercedes around this Red Bull track.
Oh, I know. So someone's just come off.
You're right. Oh, you shouldn't have called that. We wouldn't have seen it. So let's just have a look and see what's happened as we're going through launch. Oh, he just couldn't get it slowed down onto the grass. It's amazing how it always spins you around, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in between turn 6 and 7. Fortunate that Molepiece had made his pit stop and is a long way back. Didn't cost you anything.
Yeah, unfortunately I've still got to make my pit stop, so...
Yeah. Dirty tyres. Oh dear. It's, yeah. Well, I don't know what to say. it looks like you're having a bit of a nightmare there as Nightbreed goes through. So is this time for a pit stop now?
Yeah, I think this is where... Or I can't remember whether I pit here or just decided to just see how long the tyres will go for. I can't actually remember.
I think you might have done. Well, interesting, talking to pits, Grasshopper, the race leader, is into the pits. He's just reached his pit crew. Derg has stayed out, so Derg is going to carry on for at least another lap. Nightbreed has moved up into second. He's just gone around Niki Lauda curve, so a massive gap between Derg and Nightbreed. Grasshopper now back out on the medium tyres, so that's his pit stop done. Phaser is in fourth. Unforgiven, he's made his stop, and he can just see Phaser up ahead. Phaser just approaching turn 3 now, with Grasshopper just in front of Phaser. So Unforgiven will definitely fancy his chances of getting on the podium. He knows that Phaser has yet to pit. Grasshopper has already pitted. Nightbreed, he hasn't pitted, the same as Derg. So is Derg going to come in, or is he going to try and stay out? He's going to stay out. So Derg is really going to push these tyres until they're dead, I think. And he really wants to try and open up a decent gap between himself and Grasshopper. Big gap then back to Nightbreed. Grasshopper, he can just see the back end of Nightbreed up ahead. But as I say, Nightbreed yet to pit. Is he coming in this lap? No, he's not. He's staying out. Grasshopper really pushing now. Phaser has managed to stay out as well. So he's chasing Grasshopper down. Unforgiven, who has stopped. So these three pretty close to each other, although we do have a stop from Phaser to come, so it will be Unforgiven and Grasshopper that are the ones fighting it out, I think. Depends where Derg can get out after his pit stop. Stealth doing a fantastic job in 6th at the minute, or out, shall we say, in 1st of the GR4s. come out of that camera. I don't know why I keep sticking in that camera. So Stealth in 6. Pete in 7. Has Stealth stopped yet? No, Stealth hasn't stopped yet, has he? Pete in 7th. Molepiece in 8th. And the Big Mac down in 9th. John, do you want to tell us about next season?
Oh yes, why not? So next season the plan is we're scrapping multi-class. We're going with GR3 class only. So at least if not many people can make it, we'll still be able to race because we'll be in the same car. And we're going to be scrapping the 30-minute races. We're going to go with 3 15-minute races. And you have to use every type of tyre in each race. So say race 1 you could do softs, race 2 you could do mediums, and race 3 you could do hards, but you can do them in any order, but you have to use all 3 tyre compounds throughout the 3 races.
Oh, okay, yes. I think we did something very similar to that a couple of seasons ago, didn't we? And it seemed to work quite well.
Yeah, that was done in the Mini BGT.
That's right, that's the one. Yeah, and it did seem to work quite well, didn't it? And it was a very tactical battle, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, looking forward to that. Do you know when that's going to start?
That is due to start on the 19th of October.
So we've got about 2-3 weeks to go then.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Well, it's just under 3 weeks because obviously it goes from Saturday. So, yeah, just under 3 weeks.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm guessing if anybody wants to get stuck into that race then, they want to go on to let you know or get on the URL Facebook page, or better still go on the website.
Yeah, let me, Doug or Alex know and we'll get you added to the chat.
And if there is anybody watching who is not part of the URL team yet, then just look us up on Facebook. It's just Ultimate Racing League on Facebook. There is the website, URL ultimateracingligue.com. And get signed up and hopefully we can get you out on track.
Yeah. Also, the liveries for next season will be movie and live TV based.
Movie and live TV.
Movie
fantastic.
And live
Looking
TV
forward
based.
to that. We have got some great livery creators within Ultimate Racing League as well. So again, if you are not fantastic at liveries, don't let that put you off, because everybody is willing to chip in and help. And as I say, we do have some guys in there that could come up with some fantastic creations. So don't be put off by the liveries. If you're struggling with that, somebody will help you with it. So, come down, join us. Come on down, as they say.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to this race. This is the final race of this Saturday season. Derg is still out there. He's still on the original soft tyres. Grasshopper is a little way back now. I'm just trying to look at that, and I'm thinking he's probably around 15-20 seconds, do you think?
Yeah.
Gap between the two now. Derg has come into the pits. So Derg is finally in with about seven minutes of this race to go. So he's thinking he's going to get the softs on and the mediums on and give them a good punishing. Let's have a look where Grasshopper is. Grasshopper is just going through turn 8 down towards turn 9. Derg still in the pits. He's yet to get to the pit crew. This is going to be interesting as Grasshopper goes through turn 10. Back onto the start-finish straight, trying to keep that Corvette within the racing line. Now across the start-finish line, you can just see up ahead Derg is on his way out of the pits now, and I think Derg is going to get out ahead of Grasshopper. He has. So Derg is taking up the lead of this race once again. Grasshopper in second as they both head up towards turn 3. Unforgiven in third. He's not that far behind, as we just see Grasshopper there in the foreground going around turn 3. Derg with the current fastest lap and Unforgiven with the fastest sector. So let's see if Unforgiven on the soft tyres can pinch that fastest lap extra point. Fazer sitting in fourth. He's now picked up a 1 second penalty. He's fed up of the half a second penalties. He's going for a full 1 second now. Then we do actually have a race. we've got Stealth and Pete fighting it out for 6th position, and Phaser just coming up to the back of them. So Pete trying to put Stealth under a bit of pressure. Let's go on board with Pete, shall we? Now this is the problem. We've got Phaser coming into turn 4 as Stealth and Pete are trying to fight their way through turn 4 as well. Phaser doing a great job of just holding back, let these guys race. Pete pulls alongside Stealth. He's got the inside line as they go through launch. Phaser's still just sitting there getting frustrated by these guys, and now he makes his move. Oh, does he? Phaser just slots in between the two of them, trying to desperately be as patient as he can. Oh, now is it again a bit touchy-feely? I think it might have been.
Yeah.
But Pete gets the move done on Stealth anyway and moves up into 6th. Stealth in 7th. Phaser still sitting there trying to get by these guys. Now is the time to do it as they go around turn 10 onto the start finish straight. Phaser can get his foot down on the noisy pedal and get in front of these guys before they get to turn 1. Some sensible racing from Phaser, I think, there. He could have got involved in that, but decided not to, as these two were battling out for, well, basically the lead of the GR4s, aren't they?
Yeah.
We've got yourself in 9th. You've just coming into the pits now. Time for a tyre change. Molepiece has gone through in 8th. He's already made his pit stop, so it looks like the Big Mac is the last one to come into the pits.
Yeah. I am. My race went, like, after that off, it just went terrible. I couldn't catch back up.
Well, you're back out in 9th now, and yeah, there is quite a gap, isn't there, between yourself and Molepiece. It is almost the full length of that uphill climb towards turn 3. So up to the current race leader, and that is Derview 86, as he goes through turn 2 and up towards Remus for the 18th time. We've got about 3.5 minutes of this race to go. Let's just have a look where Grasshopper is. Grasshopper just coming up to turn 3 now in the Corvette. He couldn't quite make his mind up who was going to sponsor him. I can see we've got KFC on there. We've got who else have we got on there? There's quite a few. But Grasshopper sitting in 2nd. Unforgiven, he is catching up with Grasshopper in 3rd. It looks like these three are going to end up on the podium pretty much the same as they did in race 1, with Dirk taking the win. Grasshopper just behind, and Unforgiven sitting in 3rd. Phaser is in 4th. Nightbreed in 5th. Not quite lonely. He can see the back of Phaser's car, but I think he's just left it a bit late if he wants to put a challenge in on him. Pete still sitting in 6th. Has he opened up a gap back to Stealth? He has. So there is, what, 1 or 2 second gap now between Pete and Stealth. Molepiece, well, he really is in no man's land, isn't he? He's got the whole of that straight section to himself. And then yourself down in 9th, just getting lapped by Grasshopper. Staying out of the way. Oh, picking up a penalty in the process, just trying to avoid these guys, as Unforgiven is desperately trying to get onto the back of Grasshopper as they go up towards turn 3. Grasshopper not quite close enough, but he's gaining ground, isn't he?
Yeah.
So we're about 1.5 minutes left. It looks like Dirk has got this race pretty much wrapped up. He's under no pressure whatsoever. I think he's going to get at least one more lap.
Yeah.
Grasshopper and Unforgiven as well. Yeah, I think where they are sitting at, they're just coming up to turn 6 now, and we've got about 1 minute and 15 seconds, so I would guess they're going to get another lap in.
Yeah, I would believe so as well.
Phaser coming up to turn 3 in 4th. Then we've got Nightbreed, Pete, Stealth, big gap opening up between those two now. Molepiece in 8th, and yourself down in 9th. So the GR4's really spread out. as Dirk goes across the line to start his final lap. We are into the last minute. So Dirk looking very comfortable for another win, his second win of the night. Grasshopper in second. It's not written in stone for Grasshopper yet, with Unforgiven bearing down on him. We'll just quickly jump on board with Unforgiven for a couple of turns. I'm just trying to keep my eye on the time and who's going to be finished. I think Unforgiven is just not going to get close enough, is he? You can see that Grasshopper just gets away from him in that Corvette. Maybe it's just got too much. So let's have a look. As Phaser just crosses the line to start his next. Oh, he's not. He has finished. So Phaser has finished in 4th. Nightbreed finishes in 5th. And then we've got Pete crossing the line and a celebratory wriggle of the car there as he's won the GR4 race. So well done to Pete in 6th. Stealthy's going to cross the line in 7th. Good race from him. I'm sure he'll be pleased with that. And then we follow our overall race leader, Dirk. Pretty faultless race, really, and across the line to take the second win of the day. So congratulations to Dirk. The race is on though for second as Unforgiven. I think he's he's just decided to push Grasshopper across the line. So Grasshopper finished second, Unforgiven third, and then we've got yourself just coming in. Oh, very dramatic. It looks good.
Yep.
It does look good as we cross the line to take 9th. So what a fantastic season this has been. Are you pleased with it overall, John?
Yeah, I am definitely pleased with it. I just had to, like, you're wondering what I'm doing there. I just had to do a bit sort of a thing like when you win a championship, doing a little
celebratory donut or something.
Yeah.
So okay, so just remind us again when the next Saturday season starts.
Next Saturday season starts on the 19th of October.
On the 19th of October. So there you go, guys. You've got 2 or 3 weeks. If you do want to get involved, just get in touch with John. Get onto the URL Facebook page or the URL website. Get signed up, and we can get you out on track. Everybody in the GR3s, 3 15-minute races.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, what, 10 rounds again?
Yes.
That's brilliant. Yeah, Phaser, thanks for the reporting. Yeah, and hope to see you on track as well, mate. I hope you stick around, and look forward to seeing you out on track again. So that's pretty much it from me for the Saturdays. Obviously, I'm going to be back. We have the Tuesday GR2s to come. We have the Wednesday multi-class, the GR1s and the GR3s. And, of course, we have our Sunday season, which is now well and truly up and running. So look forward to seeing you all at some point over the next week. Thanks for joining me, John. Really enjoyed that.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
We shall catch up with you very soon.